What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, got bad news. Have some issues with the speed. Not 100% sure what they are, but we're gonna figure it out. Most likely it's looking like it just needs the MAF clean and then a couple other issues. I'm also gonna clean this up a little bit, get it looking a little nicer, pull some stuff that's unnecessary off, and then just sort of figure out what's done to the motor so that we can get it ready to be reflashed to a different tune. This one's giving us a couple issues with breaking up and stuff like that. So I'm also going to do an oil change today because it's always good, and change the spark plugs because we are breaking up a little under load, super high up, and only once in a while. So I think one of the spark plugs might be starting to foul, and it's never a bad thing to change when you first buy a car, to change the spark plugs. So yeah, first things first, we're going to clean the MAF and then do the spark plugs and then do an oil change. So let's get to cleaning the MAF, and I'll explain why we're cleaning it in a sec. Okay, so first thing we are doing is going to take this guy off. So for our MAF, it is a Allen key. Super simple. Okay, so basically we're getting a code that is saying that it's running too rich at idle. And I was thinking it was maybe because of the tune, because it's an older tune and maybe some things have changed, maybe gas has changed, yada yada yada. And then I was talking to a couple BC Mazda owners. One of the guys said try cleaning your MAF and then cleaning your intake as well, like the cone filter. So we're gonna go ahead and do both of those today. Might even just replace the cone filter, but I haven't decided yet. So this is the Speed MAF sensor, so we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. I'm also gonna wipe around all of that, get the dirt and grime out of it. What the MAF sensor does is it reads air intake, and then it basically decides your air-fuel ratio. This has a lot to play into that because it's what takes the reading of how much air and everything is coming in. From what I know, MAF cleaner is the only stuff you should use on this. It's very sensitive, so don't try and use like throttle body or brake clean, basically. Okay, so super simple to do. Just take the MAF, take your MAF cleaner. I just got Gunk Mass Airflow Cleaner, and we're just gonna spray right here, in here. And apparently you're also supposed to spray in here. I don't know about that one, so I'm just going to leave that because I think the connection is fine. It looks very clean. So yeah, we're just going to shake this up a bit. You want to do this in a well-ventilated area, so outside. Come on. So we're just going to spray it in there. Kind of smells like brake clean, if you're familiar with that. So we just want to soak this because it's specific. So then what we have to do is we have to let this dry. So I'm just going to let it sit while we move on to some other stuff. Alright, so now that the MAF is starting to soak and clean and everything, I'm just going to let it sit while we do the spark plugs. With this setup that we have with the front mount intercooler instead of the top mount, makes it 10 times easier. I'll show you. So think about it this way. If we had the top mount, we'd have intercooler, piping, couplers, and then a cover that goes on top. We'd have to take all that off, and then we would just be able to get to the coil packs. Luckily, with the setup that Britt's car has, we are running T-bolt clamps here with the front mount intercooler piping. This is the hot pipe, I'm assuming. Yeah, this comes off the turbo, so this is hot pipe, I believe. Basically, all we have to do is loosen this guy, which it's a little rusty, so I'm going to grab some penetrating. I might just try this guy. Take these guys off, and then there's one more right here. Should be simple enough, but we'll find out, I guess, right now. Okay, super simple process to get all these guys off. You just use an 11 mil. Oh, I forgot the penetrating fluid. Okay, let's try this one first. This one's not even tight, so that's a little questionable. Alright, so there's one. Number 2 is over here, but that's a little difficult. How are we gonna do this? So this one's kind of in a tricky spot, so I'm just gonna throw a ratcheting wrench on it. Probably adjust where this one sits when I put this back on, because you can't get a socket on it, which is frustrating, to be honest. So we just gotta pop this little holder off so that we can get the intercooler piping out. Again, this is one of those things that it's kind of questionable. Holy. This thing needs a catch can. All the blow-by is just going into here. Oh, that's concerning. Okay, so I just want you guys to see something. So this top clamp here, right here, you can see that I've loosened it. But if you watch, look where it's turning. So this hasn't been tight on the turbo at all this whole time, to the point where I bet I can get it off. So I'm gonna put you guys down and just pull it up. Yeah. So that just completely came off. This coupler also looks like it's trashed. So that is not ideal. Okay, so we'll deal with that whole clamp situation afterwards, but for now, we are going to pull the spark plugs out, all 4 of them, and see how they look. Suspecting they're gonna have some wear on them. I don't think they've necessarily been changed recently, so we're gonna see. Then we gotta figure out that clamp issue when we get back to that. MAF is almost dry. I'm gonna let it dry out this whole time, and yeah, I guess we'll just get to the coil packs and whatnot. Okay, so for the coil pack bolts, all we really need is these guys, or this guy. Yeah, so judging by these, this has not been done in a while. Let's just see how the rest of them are. Yeah, so these are all either been over tightened or just hasn't been dealt with in a while. There we go. All 4 of those are loose now. Okay, all 4 coil packs are out, which now means we can go for spark plugs. I also want to like clean this up, man. It's so nasty looking. Holy. These are over tightened. Oh no. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay, so whoever put these in really over tightened them. So that's not ideal. So these plugs, like, they look okay. Wear wise and all that. Like, they're a little dark. They're not super oily, which is nice. They're dry. It's a nice dry plug, but they are definitely, they've been in there for a while. So yeah, it's a good thing we're changing these. I'm also gonna check the spark plug gap. So if we get you nice and close, so you see that little tip right there, and then this, in between that is called your spark plug gap. It's really good to make sure that you're gapped properly, because that's what's gonna cause breakups, and that's why we're doing that. Okay, so this one isn't over tightened, but it's been in here a while. You can literally hear that it's been in here for a while. So again, nice dry plug. It's about the same condition as the other one, so that's a good thing. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but that's not tight at all. Wow, whoever did these, like, super inconsistent. It's insane. Same thing, dry, which is good. Alright, let's see what number 4 is like. Take your bets now. Is it gonna be way too tight, or is it gonna be not tight at all? Pause the video right here for a second, and so you can vote. And then we'll just keep going. Hey! First one that's, I'd say decent, but it's a little tight. Same thing, nice dry plug, but it's old. So the car is gonna run 10 times better with the new plugs, I'm assuming. I'm gonna check the gap on these guys pretty quick, and then we'll see if we need to gap the new ones down at all. Okay, so you've seen me check plug gaps before, so I'm not going to go into how you do it, but these are gapped to about 0.03, so 30 thou. I'm probably going to gap them down a bit because by the sounds of it, it's a good thing to gap them down to like 0.26, which seems really low to me, but it's actually like a decent number apparently, supposedly, allegedly. So let's see what the new ones come gapped at. Let's make sure that these are all gapped the same as well. It looks like they might just be stock Mazdas. So second issue that we've noticed with these spark plugs, this one's gapped to 0.028. This one's at 0.029, and this one is at 0.028. So very inconsistent with the spark plug, with the gaps on the spark plugs, which isn't ideal, I don't think. Let's find out what's going on with these guys. So these are Iridium NGK spark plugs. The part number is LTR7IX. Sounds cool. It's not. So I'm just gonna take these. So another thing, Iridium plugs really have to be careful when you're gapping these because the tips break really easily. Holy crap, these are gapped to 0.04. So we're going to tap this until it's at 0.026. It's going to take a minute, so I'm just going to cut it here, and then I'll pick it back up once I get it gapped. I want to do the first one without worrying about recording. Okay, and it probably looks like I haven't moved, but the camera has. Gap down to 0.027. So I'm going to run all of them at that, just see how it is, see if we have any breakup issue. If we don't, great. If we do, we'll have to pull them back out, re-gap them, and then, yeah. I don't think I broke the tip at all, so that is also good. You never want to break the tip. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this one in really quick, and then we'll gap the rest down and throw them in as well. That was a weird noise that just came from my throat. Yeah, I forgot. I have gloves, and I, always forget to use them. So, we're changing it up today, and we're actually using gloves on the Travis Lobson Automotive Vlog Shenanigans and Tutorials channel. Okay, so when you're tightening spark plugs, 2 fingers, good enough. Okay, number 2, we are good at 0.027. Okay, number 2 is good. Falling. Let's go to number 3. Okay, number 3 is gapped. Okay, now let's put number 4 in. Okay, I already tightened it a little bit and gapped it, but number 4 is just about done. Alrighty, we're gapped, we're installed, and now we're ready to gap, people. It's like this thing's slow, just kidding. Okay, so it's obviously really dirty in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab some brake clean, spray it on a rag, and just clean it up a little bit, hopefully. Now, the nice thing is, I am wearing gloves. Look how dirty that is. But it cleans up pretty good. I'm wearing gloves, so I don't have to worry about getting brake clean on my hands, which is nice. Nice for a change. Okay, so already, just from that little bit of cleaning, it already looks 10 times better. So I'm really happy with that. Couple things we have to sort out. I want to figure out what's going on with this. So what happened with this clamp is the clamp was too big, so it didn't tighten enough. So what I'm going to have to do is throw a hose clamp on there for now, and just deal with that. I mean, my car's running hose clamps too, and it's running the same boost, so we shouldn't blow any coupler like that. We're probably better off running this rather than that T-bolt clamp, because that one was letting air through, which probably was making the car run rough, which also could be why we were getting the engine code for the rich idle, because it was messing up with the MAF. We're gonna find out right now. I'm gonna throw these coil packs back in, and then we'll tackle that job. So, looking at this, I can't get this guy to line back up with this. I'm thinking it was because this wasn't on properly before. Like, I actually have it on the turbo now. It's actually tight. I can reef on it. So, I'm thinking we're just gonna leave it off. Like this guy, we're just gonna leave this off because there's not really a point in having it. We're gonna do the oil change now, and then we'll put the MAF back in, and then we'll drive it, see how it is. Okay, we're back, and Britt's here. Hi, Britt.
Hi.
I think I'm gonna plug the MAF back in right now, and then, yeah, then we'll do the oil change really quick, and it shouldn't take long, so let's get it. There we go. We're good. Okay. Now we're gonna jack the car up and do an oil change. Okay, so it's a little windy, sorry. This is probably gonna be really bad audio, but we just finished the oil change. I was gonna record it, but there's no point. You guys have seen oil changes before. So we're gonna take it for a little rip and then see if it's still boost cutting. So see how this goes.
I have no gases.
I know, I'm gonna drive, okay?
Okay.
Because you don't boost hard enough to see if it boost cuts. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to record.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the Speed still has like the tiniest little breakup. I'm not sure why. What I'm gonna do right now is just try clearing the check engine light with the access port and then see if I resolved one of our two check engine lights, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, so the code that we are having for the MAF is P2188. So we're just gonna clear the codes and see what happens. So once we head out to the meet, I'll probably update you guys tomorrow and we'll see what's going on. We'll have to wait to see if once we're driving comes back on, so I'll let you guys know tomorrow. Alright you guys, so it's the next day. We're obviously still in the Speed. Currently, no check engine lights. I just cleared them after we did everything. They did come back. Well, one of them did. We actually got a over boosting check engine light. Now, what I think the cause of that is the fact that A, the spark plugs were no good, and B, that clamp being loose on the turbo, I think it was causing obviously a vacuum leak, so it wasn't able to create full boost, which now the car's flashed for a certain amount of boost, and now it's actually making the full boost that this flash should be making. So it's probably just getting confused and being like, hey, like, I'm not supposed to hit 19.75 pounds, basically, like 19.8. So we're just gonna drive it easy until probably next week. We're gonna get it reflashed, and then yeah, I don't know, we'll go from there. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. As per usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.